Good day, everyone. As we grow older, the importance of what we put on our plate becomes more than just a matter of taste. It becomes a matter of longevity, vitality, and overall well-being. As the body progresses through the natural aging process, it undergoes a wide range of physiological changes. One of the most significant and insidious of these is the gradual increase in chronic, low-grade inflammation, often referred to as inflammaging. This term describes a steady and persistent immune activation that occurs with age, even in the absence of an acute infection or injury. Unlike the body's normal protective inflammatory response to threats like pathogens or tissue damage, this chronic form of inflammation tends to be subtle, long-lasting, and system-wide. It often goes unnoticed for years, slowly contributing to the breakdown of essential bodily systems and the development of numerous age-related diseases. Scientific evidence increasingly supports the notion that this age-associated inflammation is a key driver behind many of the chronic conditions seen in older adults. One of the most common and recognizable outcomes is joint pain and stiffness. As cartilage thins and degenerates over time, inflammatory mediators such as cytokines and prostaglandins infiltrate joint tissues, leading to pain, reduced mobility, and disorders like osteoarthritis. This inflammation not only affects the joints themselves, but can also have systemic effects, influencing how other organs function and accelerating biological aging. Cardiovascular disease is another major area where chronic inflammation plays a pivotal role. Inflammation can damage the inner lining of blood vessels, known as the endothelium, making it more susceptible to plaque buildup and atherosclerosis. This process narrows the arteries, restricts blood flow, and increases the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and peripheral artery disease. Elevated levels of C-reactive protein, CRP, a marker of inflammation in the blood, are often found in older adults with cardiovascular issues and serve as a predictor of future heart-related events. The brain is not exempt from the effects of chronic inflammation. In fact, a growing body of research suggests that neuroinflammation, ongoing inflammation in the brain, is strongly linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha are frequently found at elevated levels in individuals with mild cognitive impairment and dementia. These compounds can disrupt the function of neurons, impair synaptic communication, and interfere with the clearance of amyloid beta plaques, which are characteristic of Alzheimer's disease. Over time, this inflammatory stress contributes to the shrinking of brain volume and the loss of mental sharpness, memory, and executive function. In addition to musculoskeletal and cognitive concerns, metabolic health is also deeply affected by chronic inflammation. Inflammatory responses interfere with insulin signaling pathways, contributing to insulin resistance and the development of type 2 diabetes. In older adults, the risk is further heightened due to physical inactivity, loss of muscle mass, and an accumulation of visceral fat, which is known to produce inflammatory cytokines itself. This sets up a vicious cycle. Inflammation leads to metabolic dysfunction, which in turn promotes further inflammation, exacerbating disease progression and decreasing quality of life. The relationship between diet and inflammation has become a focal point in modern nutritional science, especially as it pertains to aging. As individuals age, their immune systems become less efficient at distinguishing between harmful invaders and the body's own tissues, leading to a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation. This contributes to a range of age-related conditions such as arthritis, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and cognitive decline. Fortunately, diet provides one of the most effective, non-invasive ways to modulate the immune system and reduce the burden of inflammation on the body. Food is not merely a source of energy or sustenance. It carries molecular signals that communicate with our cells and influence how genes are expressed. Nutrient-rich foods that contain anti-inflammatory properties offer compounds such as antioxidants, polyphenol, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals, all of which interact with the immune system to help it function more effectively. These nutrients work together to combat oxidative stress, a biochemical imbalance that arises when harmful molecules known as free radicals accumulate faster than the body can neutralize them. Oxidative stress is a key contributor to inflammation and becomes increasingly problematic with age. Whole foods such as colorful fruits, leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, and oily fish are particularly rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. For example, Berries contain anthocyanins, which have been shown to reduce markers of inflammation in the blood. Leafy greens such as spinach and kale provide folate, magnesium, and carotenoids, nutrients essential for maintaining a balanced immune response. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines are high in EPA and DHA, two types of omega-3 fatty acids that help reduce the production of inflammatory molecules such as cytokines and prostaglandins. When consumed regularly, these foods help to recalibrate the immune system, reduce tissue damage, and protect the body's organs from the degenerative effects of inflammation. Equally important to note is the role of processed and pro-inflammatory foods in aggravating inflammation. Diets high in refined sugars, trans fats, and processed meats promote the production of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, and other pro-inflammatory compounds. These substances can trigger immune responses that perpetuate chronic inflammation. When older adults consume a diet rich in these harmful ingredients, the body's inflammatory load increases, leading to a cascade of negative health outcomes. Replacing these items with whole, unprocessed alternatives can significantly reduce inflammation markers and support healthier aging. Moreover, certain spices and herbs such as turmeric, ginger, and garlic contain bioactive compounds like curcumin, gingerol, and allicin, which exhibit strong anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Including these in daily meals not only enhances flavor, but also contributes to better immune regulation and cellular health. Hydration, too, plays a subtle but crucial role. Water helps flush out toxins and supports metabolic processes that control inflammation. A balanced diet, therefore, isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about actively participating in the body's defense system through the intelligent selection of nourishing, inflammation-fighting foods. The consumption of processed foods has become increasingly prevalent in modern diets, especially due to convenience, affordability, and aggressive marketing. However, the long-term consequences of these dietary choices are particularly detrimental for individuals over the age of 60. At this stage in life, the body is more vulnerable to systemic stressors, including those triggered by food. Diets high in refined sugars, trans fats, and processed meats have been strongly linked to heightened levels of inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation, while often subtle and chronic, can quietly drive the development and progression of numerous age-related diseases. Refined sugars, which are commonly found in sugary beverages, pastries, packaged snacks, and processed cereals, have a direct impact on blood glucose levels and insulin sensitivity. Consistently elevated blood sugar leads to the formation of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which damage cells and tissues by triggering inflammatory pathways. These compounds bind to receptors on immune cells, prompting the release of pro-inflammatory cytokines that circulate throughout the body. Over time, this chronic state of immune activation can weaken organ systems and lead to conditions such as type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and kidney dysfunction. In older adults, who may already have compromised metabolic systems, the effects are even more pronounced. Trans fats, which are artificially created during the hydrogenation process used to extend the shelf life of many processed foods, are another major contributor to inflammation. Found in margarine, baked goods, fried foods, and certain packaged snacks, trans fats alter cell membrane function and interfere with normal immune signaling. They not only increase low-density lipoprotein, LDL, cholesterol, but also reduce high-density lipoprotein, HDL cholesterol, disrupting the body's ability to maintain cardiovascular health. The presence of trans fats in the diet stimulates the liver to produce more C-reactive protein, CRP, a widely recognized biomarker for inflammation. Elevated CRP levels have been associated with an increased risk of stroke, heart attack, and even cognitive decline in older populations. Processed meats, such as bacon, sausages, deli slices, and hot dogs, contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites that can promote oxidative stress and inflammation. These meats are often high in saturated fats and sodium, further complicating blood pressure regulation and vascular function. The high-temperature cooking methods often used to prepare these foods, such as frying or grilling, can also lead to the formation of harmful compounds like heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, which are not only inflammatory but also carcinogenic. Frequent consumption of processed meats has been linked to an increased risk of colorectal cancer, hypertension, and chronic kidney disease, particularly in older adults who may already have diminished organ resilience. Furthermore, many processed foods contain artificial additives, preservatives, and emulsifiers that disrupt the gut microbiome, the complex ecosystem of bacteria that plays a crucial role in immune regulation. An imbalance in gut bacteria, known as dysbiosis, is associated with increased gut permeability or leaky gut, which allows inflammatory molecules to enter the bloodstream more easily. This gut origin inflammation can affect multiple organ systems and has been implicated in autoimmune conditions, allergies, and mood disorders. As the body ages, its natural defense mechanisms begin to decline, including its ability to combat oxidative stress. Oxidative stress arises from the accumulation of free radicals, unstable molecules generated during normal cellular metabolism, exposure to pollutants, UV radiation, and even from certain types of food. These free radicals can damage DNA, proteins, and cell membranes, leading to accelerated aging and increased risk of chronic diseases. To counteract this, the body relies heavily on antioxidants, which neutralize free radicals before they cause harm. Consuming whole foods rich in antioxidants and phytonutrients becomes increasingly important after the age of 60, as the body's own antioxidant production declines with age. Whole foods such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes contain a complex mix of vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals that work together to protect the body's cells. Unlike synthetic supplements, which often isolate individual nutrients, whole food provide a synergistic blend of protective compounds that the body is better equipped to absorb and utilize. For example, vitamin C, found in citrus fruits and bell peppers, is a powerful water-soluble antioxidant that supports immune function and aids in the repair of tissues. Vitamin E, found in almonds and sunflower seeds, is a fat-soluble antioxidant that helps protect cell membranes from oxidative damage. When consumed as part of a balanced whole food diet, these nutrients enhance the body's resilience to oxidative stress and inflammation. Phytonutrients, which are natural compounds found in plants, also play a crucial role in defending the body against age-related decline. Flavonoids, carotenoids, and polyphenol are among the most studied for their anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. For instance, the deep pigments in berries, such as anthocyanins, not only give them their rich color, but also provide significant protection against oxidative damage to the brain and blood vessels. Carotenoids like beta-carotene and lutein, found in carrots, sweet potatoes, and leafy greens, are essential for eye health and may reduce the risk of macular degeneration, a common condition in older adults. The protective effects of these antioxidants go beyond cellular maintenance. They also influence gene expression and support healthy aging at the molecular level. By reducing oxidative damage, these nutrients can help maintain the integrity of DNA and delay the onset of degenerative diseases, such as Alzheimer's, cancer, and cardiovascular conditions. Furthermore, whole foods support detoxification pathways in the liver, help maintain skin elasticity, and improve overall vitality and cognitive function, which are critical for maintaining independence and quality of life in later years. It is also important to note that whole foods often provide dietary fiber, which supports a healthy gut microbiome and aids in the elimination of toxins. A well-balanced gut ecosystem further enhances the body's immune response and decreases systemic inflammation. For older adults, this interconnected support system provided by whole foods becomes essential, as every cell in the body relies on proper nourishment to function optimally in the face of time and environmental stressors.